So, hello everyone, I'm Braden Cashman, and today I'm joined with Cooper Collins. And for our project, we decided to talk about Erich Jarvis.
Eric Jarvis was born and raised in Harlem, New York. He was born on May 6th, 1965. He was raised by his parents, James Jarvis and Sasha McCall, which really weren't the best parents for him. When he was younger, he had a really rough home life and poor living arrangements. When he grew up, he also had three other siblings, and his parents got divorced in early 1970s, which just wasn't good for him because his mother was now a single mother caring for the four children, leading to his grandparents have a significant part of taking care of him in his early life. But all in all, it didn't really affect him that much because now Eric Jarvis grew up to be a very successful psychologist with a net worth of over $14 million. And now he has a wife with two children, and he's still teaching at Rockefeller University.
All right, so now we move on to his education. So, Erich Jarvis went to high school in Manhattan High School for the Performing Arts. While there, he focused on classical ballet and his studies on modern and traditional West African dance. So, he focused a lot around dance, and he even performed with the Ballet Afrique. And then for college, so at just 15 years of age, he studied chemistry for 3 years as a student in the City College of New York. After that, he went to Hunter College in New York City also, where he majored in mathematics and biology, and he also got his Bachelor of Science degree while there. So for graduate school, in 1995, he received his Doctor of Philosophy degree in Animal Behavior and Molecular Neurobehavior. This was at Rockefeller University. Also, while he was at Rockefeller University, he completed postdoctoral research and he danced just like in high school, but this time with the Westchester Ballet Company.
For work, Eric Jarvis started at Rockefeller University for 7 years as an assistant professor. Then, after that, he went for 14 years at Duke as an assistant professor of neurobiology. Later, after that, he came back to Rockefeller University in 2016 as a professor and head of the Laboratory of Neurogenics of Language. He has been there ever since and is still working. While he was a professor, he researched about the evolving human brain and how we learned how to talk. He compared our brain to three bird groups that have similar cerebral vocal nuclei in the brain, which is similar to how our brain is built. Then he used the behavior and molecular biology to compare how the birds and humans make their noise, which is honestly insane how like we haven't really had much research on this until now. And this is where the human speech and speech disorders branch from though. So because we learned how to talk from birds, like not everything came through and which evolved like many disorders. So Eric made the connection that our uh, language has evolved from birds.
All right, so now we move on to the many challenges that he went through, especially at such a young age. So, to begin with, like we said earlier, he had a very rough home life at such a young age. He was born in New York in 1965, which is right at the peak of the civil rights movement. He was born in a low income home. He was raised by his two parents at the time of four siblings. Again, his father was abusive, drug addicted, which really led to his parents getting a divorce, which led to him being raised by a single mother of four children. So due to that, he began to live at his maternal grandparents' apartment in New York. During this time, from 6 to 8 years old, he had mysterious illnesses on and off. Still don't know what those were, but these illnesses really just set him really far behind in his education. Um, Soon, as finally he was getting on track and on top of his education, and finally catching up on that and applying to colleges, his grandfather was killed, who again he was really close to. That's who he grew up with. It was kind of like his father figure. His actual father was shot and killed. Um, he also was growing up in the Bronx, which is a really rough neighborhood. He would hear shooting often, and most of the time he said those bullets were meant for someone. Again, that's how his father died. Another challenge he said was he felt like an African American who was struggling to survive as a scientist in a white majority. Um, he explains how, due to his race and a dispute with a former mentor, he was rejected actually at first at a job at Rockefeller University. And even though he was just a genius in cell biology, due to his race, they said no. So that's another just challenge. And really, he had a lot of challenges that he went through.
Some fun facts about Eric Jarvis is his favorite color is blue. His favorite quote is, "It doesn't matter what you do in life as long as you do it well," which I agree with. His favorite time of the year was spring, which, like, how can you not like spring? Come on now. Favorite vacation spot was Brazil. And the number of awards he won was 20, which is ridiculous. Can't even fit them all on the screen. But here's one of them. He won the NFS highest award for young investigators given annually to one scientist or engineer who, under the age of 35, made a significant discovery and impact in science.
All right. So why we chose Eric Jarvis was just simple. His research and work really interested us, and especially how such different species, birds and humans, can relate to having the same type of communication in the way that we speak. And then his challenges were really interesting to hear about and to learn about, and what he went through and what he still goes through this day. So thank you everyone for listening to our project.